Before we go any farther, I'd like you to meet the people up here making this music. On my left is a gentleman that the New York Times recently called an unusual texture. I've heard him called other things, but he really is the man responsible for this group having a different kind of a sound. Actually, there's a funny story. When I was putting the group together about a year and a half ago, put an ad in the Village Voice and tried out various cellists that answered it. And Tim I met then, and he told me that he'd studied at Juilliard, and I was quite impressed because it seems like all the good string players from around the New York area have gone to Juilliard at one time or another. But about two months after I asked him to join the group, I found out that he had gone to Juilliard, but it wasn't that Juilliard. It was the Juilliard School for the Mentally Infirm in Boise, Idaho. And out there they have, rather strong feelings about using musical therapy as a way to work out one's aggressions. Tim has a rather strong mother fixation, so they decided to give him this figure 8-shaped instrument and a phallic symbol to play it with, and he's doing just fine. And I'd like you to give a warm welcome to a consummate musician and an incredible cellist, Tim Scott. Now, going downhill from there, behind me is on the boom boom box is an old buddy of mine. John Wallace and I used to sing in the same choir together back in Brooklyn Heights early in the 50s. Back then he was the boy soprano soloist of the Grace Episcopal Church Choir for Boys and Men. And he's probably now the last of the living castrati. For those of you who don't know who the castrati were, back in the Middle Ages when they had a choir boy with a particularly fine voice, they didn't want to lose it as he grew older. So they performed a very simple operation. And he was a soprano for life. Well, thank God in John's case the operation was reversible, because when puberty came around all kinds of hell broke loose, and he's now perhaps the world's only one-man choir. Also playing Gibson bass, Big John Wallace. We're three New York City boys, and we were having trouble finding all right, New York City. Isn't it funny you can name any place in the world? I mean, I could say Waterloo, and then, or Paramus, New Jersey, you know. You can always get a ripple out of something, you know. Champaign, all right. Did you come up from there? Oh, that's great. We could spend the evening doing that, and we can go down the rows here, place names. But
Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
There's a real town called that. It's right next to Blue Ball. But I'm serious. Anyway, let me get back to this. We're as I said, we're going downhill. Ron is from a little town upstate called Manlius, New York. There aren't that many people in the goddamn town, for Christ's sake. No, I never met him. I heard this tape that was bouncing around the New York Underground, and I figured I'd call him up. I said, and I figured I'd be talking to some kind of farmer type, and lo and behold, when he answered the phone, he sure sounded like a farmer, but little did I know then that he looked like Jesus Christ. Anyway, I offered him $1 million to come on down to the big city and make some music with us.
There's a lot of bullshit, man.
As you can gather, I still owe him a bit, but I'm damn glad to have him. On lead guitar, the nimble fingers of Mr. Ronald Palmer.